Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Hopefully you can hear me. As far as I can see, everything's working from my end. But if you'd be someone be kind enough to let me know you can hear me on YouTube and Twitch, it'd be very much appreciated. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thanks, Lone. Thanks, Beauty of Creative. I'll say a few mornings to people who've come in already. Good morning to Beauty of Creative, Only Me, and to Lone, and morning to Arcles. I keep saying Arcles, Achilles, isn't it? But morning to everyone who's lurking. I can see there's a few of you lurking. Welcome to the garden. Apologies for being a few minutes late. I will tell you why. It's I have been modding on another channel this morning, and it's been really quiet. It has, and then as soon as I stop being anywhere near it, and then walk away, start setting this up, you get a number of spammers come in, so I've just been clearing that off. That was the reason I was a few minutes late setting up. The other problem is, of course, it is exceedingly hot here. So, welcome to the channel, Rootless. Morning, Yankee. It is it is hot already here. Let's see what it says on it. Well, Stream Element says it's 23.1. According to my weather machine, it's about 25. We've had another extremely hot week. I think we've gone about a month now, and the only rain we've had is a couple of storms that blown through. Oh, talking of which, hang on. Sorry, back now. Talking of which, I forgot I'd left the hose pipe running there. I've been watering some of the plants. We've lost quite a few, or not lost, but a lot of them have lost their flowers in the last week just because of the excess heat. We're watering morning and evening, but even so, it's really a case of survival for the plants, not doing very much. The big fuchsias are struggling, and that's why we're watering this morning. So I've had the hose on them for about an hour, just to try to soak the water in as deep as I can down to the roots. Forecast for this week is hot and sunny again, with no rain. So we've got at least another week of this before we need anything. But in reality, we probably need about a week of steady rain now for the garden to sort of get back to anything normal. I'll introduce, because we've got a few new people coming to the chat. A lot of you will have heard all this waffle before, all the regulars, but we've got a number of new people, so I'll come and say hello. So, hello, welcome to the garden. Anyone who's new to the garden, this is it. So this is the back garden. We've got flower beds. We've got this new bed down the centre we built this year. New bed here we built this year. Bed over there, pond over there. Then when you go through the arch, we've got some fruit trees, a little veg patch, the greenhouse, and then a load of other plants down there. But I'll try to do a tour in a bit. Whew. Thanks very much, Ophidia, for resubbing. Yep, so anyone who's new, that was me. I'm otherwise known as Bear. This is a garden in northern England. Nearest place, if you want to look up on a map, is you would find this is probably York. It's a pretty typical suburban garden, and the channel is basically everything to do with what we grow in the garden, what you see from the garden, what goes on around the garden throughout the year. If you're watching us on YouTube, you found our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on Twitch, we're predominantly a YouTube channel, but we live stream both on YouTube and Twitch. So anyone who's new and you hear me talking to people who can't see in the chat, that's the reason why. We're always here on a Sunday about this sort of time. And usually we're doing some sort of gardening of some kind. And then we run live streams at other times whenever the circumstances allow. The biggest problem we face today is the heat, really, and the equipment in the heat. I just have to be slightly conscious of the camera, trying to keep it in the shade as much. Just trying to keep myself in the shade. So, how's everyone coping with the heat around the place? I think anyone who's in Europe struggling, as we are here. So, what's happened this week in the garden? Lots of watering, a bit more tidy up and weeding. One advantage of the hot weather is that it does not only slow down your plants from growing, but it slows down the weeds from growing as well, which is good. The stuff we've done over the last few weeks seems to be hanging on. We had an unfortunate situation with Wiggy the acorn. Wiggy the acorn melted. He almost caught on fire. He's a bit singed, let's put it that way, because he was in the greenhouse, and the greenhouse this week's got up to 58 degrees C. But in fact, while we're talking about Wiggy the acorn, I'll go and get him for you so you can see what he's looking like. For anyone new here, Wiggy the acorn was an acorn we rescued at the beginning of the year when we were clearing out some old baskets, hanging baskets and troughs, and we found an acorn. And Wiggy was doing so well. This grass, look at that, this is what I was on about. During the winter, this grass is like moss, but now it's just dust. I'll put that down there. So I'll come around the back actually of the camera, and then I can see what it's focusing on. So this is Wiggy the acorn. Yeah, you see the bottom part of Wiggy the acorn isn't too bad, but when you get to the top, it's very singed and not very happy. He should survive, but it's not ideal. So Wiggy the acorn's gone crispy, and that's Wiggy the. I'll get that in the light. That's Wiggy the acorn's label. And anyone who's new here, we've got labels all over the garden with people's names on them. I'm just going to put Wiggy down here on the floor in the shade. Yes, it's the heat. He's a bit dry, isn't he? Well, he's okay now. His feet are nice and cool in some nice wet compost. But it's just the heat, really, especially in the greenhouse. So I'm just going to cough. Hang on. Sorry about that. Morning, Gus. Lone's made a pretty terrible joke there. But I suppose that's fair play on this channel. Okay, Aka's asking, was it 58 the other day in the greenhouse? Yes, 58 degrees C was the max the greenhouse got to on, I think it was Thursday. It was 56 on Friday in the greenhouse. So I mean that's just horrendous, really. The cucumbers and the cucumbers are quite enjoying it, I have to say. In there, the aubergines aren't quite liking it as much because they've got much bigger leaf surface. But so I think generally this week it's been, most days it's been about low 30s. I think you lose track of time. Friday it was about 36 or something like that here. I can't remember. You lose track of time, but it's been certainly hot. But the plants so much don't matter about the heat as long as they've got access to the water, and that's the major issue at the moment because we haven't had any rain for weeks. The ground is bone hard, and even with the pots and so on, you water it morning and evening, but the heat's just evaporating it. And if you today, as you can tell from the swain plants, it's quite a breezy day as well. So it's hot, breezy, and sunny. So everything's just going to dry it like anything. So all I'm watering at the moment, I'm just basically watering pots, baskets, morning and evening, and then trying to give other plants a really good soak once or twice a week. Which is like I've been doing the fuchsias over on the left because they were fully in flower last week, but a lot of the flowers are just shriveled up this week because the water hasn't been getting to the flowers. So they've not been lasting very much, and you'll see that when we do the tour around, you'll actually see how much stuff has sort of wilted or the flowers have gone over, things like that. Yeah, Only Me's made a good comment there that their cucumbers have gone ballistic and they can't keep up with them. Yeah, it's amazing really that of anything in the garden, the cucumbers have done the best. Best of all in this heat. Mine have probably, I mean, my cucumbers are behind Only Me's cucumbers by a few weeks, but the ones in the greenhouse here have doubled in size in a week. The actual plant has, not the actual cucumbers. And the gherkins, which I've actually got outside, they're doing pretty well. The remaining courgette plants have taken off as well. But hopefully I can show you all that as we go around. I'm just looking up something. Excuse me while I talk to myself. Yeah, right, okay. Do that. Talk amongst yourselves for a sec. I would sing a song for you, but I have a nasty feeling someone might clip it. Ah, that's what it does. I was right. So I'm talking to myself. Yeah. Apologies for that. I was just looking something up. Yeah, Lady put in that for our North American friends. When I say courgette, it's actually zucchini. You had two adverts. That's interesting. Only me. Yeah. Morning, Michael over on Twitch. Yeah, for YouTube viewers. Yeah, only me said they had two adverts while they were listening at the beginning of the stream. I mentioned that last week that I don't set adverts on the live streams or the premieres on the channel. But a number of other channels have been reporting that YouTube are putting them on anyway without the creator having any choice on the matter. So I've got on YouTube, the only time you'll see adverts on YouTube, on this channel on YouTube, will be on normal videos or replays of the live streams. That's the only time you see it. As I set it, as you're watching it now, you shouldn't get adverts, but for some reason YouTube are doing it, and there's no way that the creator can do anything about it. So all I can say, sorry about that, but it's just irritating. So if you do go, I can't on Twitch. It's slightly different. I can see when the ad breaks are on there, but if you do go into an ad break on YouTube and you miss something vital, please let me know and I can try to answer any questions. But the only problem with YouTube is I think they do their adverts differently for every single viewer. So it's a whole nightmare. It is really trying to sort out, but there shouldn't be adverts. That's the irritating thing. Right, rant over. Only me's under a hosepipe ban already. Okay, we're not here yet. Yeah, don't think we're likely to get one in the short term, basically because it was so wet over the winter. I think all the reservoirs were fully topped up. But if this carries on for another 2 or 3 weeks, they'll probably start thinking about it here as well. And anyone who doesn't know the hosepipe bans in the UK, basically that means you can't use the hosepipe for basically anything. There are some rules about it. You can use it for edible food, or for I think you can use it for aquatic, for animals and so on, looking after animals. But it's very restrictive. You won't be able to water the garden. So at the moment with the hosepipe, it takes about an hour in the morning, hour in the evening to water the garden here. So you can imagine if you've got to do it with a watering can, how much longer it takes. Um, let's see if we can actually zoom in on something. So today's stream, we're not doing anything particularly tiresome, grueling, or hard work. So really, we're going to just have a look at several flowers and talk about them. There's some new flowers that have appeared well, they're not new. They're around in the garden, but this is a new variety, which must have cross-pollinated with something else. So there's some new stuff. There are a few new things coming out, but as I'll show you around, a lot of stuff we would have seen last week has sort of slightly got singed to this week, shall we say. Let's just zoom in on this a bit. So we just pan around the garden for a little bit. So obviously that's the pond at the moment. This is the flower bed. We're a country style garden. We're not a country garden because we're not quite in the countryside, but it's a country garden style. With sort of flowing borders. You can see things overhanging the edges. Taller plants at the back going down to shorter plants at the front. Mix of colours, mix of flowering times. So that's what we're trying to aim for. See if we can zoom in on something. It's not very focused. Oh. So this is in one of our new plants this year. This is Scabiosa Beaujolais. It's interesting, on the screen it doesn't come out as red as... I wonder if it looks a lot better on OBS. I'm just going to play with okay, I'll do... Right, don't know, it's not worth playing. A couple of check-ins there. Morning, Zab. Yeah, Loans put that in. The hosepipe exemptions are new turf, livestock for pets, young trees and aquatic welfare. It's very, very limited. Yeah, yeah. I wonder if it's actually my screen. Hang on. Might actually be. I don't know. Yeah, I think it might be me. Yeah, it is. It is a B. Nice little bumblebee. Morning, Leo. Sab's asking, why won't you let me redeem the ice cream van? Because you're on the wrong channel, Zab. However, I do need to try something. I have no idea whether this works or not. So if it works, brilliant. If it doesn't, well, we'll go back to plan B. So no, it didn't. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. But I will have got. Don't know why that wasn't doing that. So irritating, some of this software. I'll sort that out in the background. But I have a backup plan for anyone who's unaware of. About a week ago, when we were streaming, one of my lovely moderators clipped me singing like an ice cream van when I was trying to overwrite the copyright music of the ice cream van. And consequently, they then were assisted by other mischievous people in creating a redeem on one of the channels of mod on, which everyone's found hilariously funny to play. YouTube, you won't have a clue what I'm talking about, but I have adapted it for this channel. It should have come up there with that redeem. So don't spend your points on the redeem. Don't spend any money on the redeem because it doesn't work. But for the YouTube viewers, because you won't have a clue what we're on about. Well, yeah. Achilles has put up the clip, but we do have, if I can find it, what should have happened and didn't happen when I spent some non-existent money on the channel. Is this should have happened. So there you go. That is they managed to clip the mods and their naughty elf assistants managed to clip the ice cream van that I was doing to get over the copyright music for YouTube, and then they created a slightly different one, but I've adapted it for a bear actually in an ice cream van. So, and there is a redeem for that, but it's not working. So what I will do, actually, I'll remove that before anyone tries to spend their hard-earned money on that. I just need to load up. Obviously loaded up the right. I'll go into that and. Turn that off. Yeah. Yeah. So we go back to that, and then we go back to. I'll try to get back now. Back to that. Yep. So there. So for anyone everyone now knows that's the ice cream van. Only Me's made a very good point there, that Beauty Love Creative says I've got some nice mods. Well, generally yes. And then Only Me says Fork mods were supposed to lighten your load, not add to it. I think that's perfectly correct, because when I'm modding, I never cause any chaos whatsoever. But it's in light-hearted fun. There's no, I know there's no malice involved in it, so so hopefully that, I say, I've made the clip. It should have come up there with the redeem, but it didn't work, so I'll have to tweak that for the next time. So the ice cream van will be available to redeem on YouTube, and if I can, actually I might be able to do something over on not on YouTube, on Twitch, sorry, be available on Twitch on the redeems. I might be able to do something over on YouTube as well. Just thought about that. That's for another day. While we're on that, I'll just there you go, one more time, and then we can actually get on and do some wandering around. Yes, it's all very silly. Anyway, Sub's enjoying it over on Twitch. Yeah, mods are a breed of their own. Yeah, it's been a very long 24 hours. I think I started yesterday at about 7 in the morning. Then there was another one that ran until that ran over into the next one, which also ran over into the next one, which also ran over into the next one, and I actually gave up at 2:30 in the morning. It was a long day yesterday, and again I've been modding this morning since about 7:30. So it's going to be a long day, but it's enjoyable. It's a bit of fun, helps people out. I will, because they're so excellent at making clips. For anyone over on Twitch who doesn't know who Leah4 is, give her a follow. She's ignoring chat this week because she wants to go away on holiday without us. But when she comes back, makes lovely lampwork, glass jewellery, and ducks and hearts and basically chaos over there. I'm just going to look up something else. Oh, there's another. I've got lots of admin things to do today on here. You forget about all this when you haven't been on for a week. You forget about all these things. But I've suddenly remembered something. It's important to do. Yeah, and so if you're over on YouTube, that's Leah4's YouTube channel where she reposts her live streams. So if you want to see what Leah4 gets up to, and you're on YouTube and don't have Twitch, you can drop on there. There's some ads coming up in a minute on Twitch, so we'll wait for the ads to roll through, and then we'll have a little bit of a wander and see what's in the garden. I'm just going to have while we're waiting, I'm just going to have a hydration break. Which means I'm legally obliged to do a merchandising section. That's over. So yeah, we have merch. Anyone who's new, you'll find the links in all the good places and all the bad places. Plus you'll find links to our website and everything else. You know the scene. I don't need to tell everyone what to do. Yeah, only me. It's worth watching. You can have it on in the background. It is slightly chaotic at times, I have to warn you. But Leo makes some beautiful stuff as well. How are you off, Sab? Yeah. Sab is very busy on in the mornings as well, modding. And Leo's saying, Bear, well, hang on, before we do that, let's do a shout out for Zab over on Twitch. If you're into your Lego, that's the channel you should follow on Twitch. Leo is saying, Bear, be honest, tell Beauty that you cause the chaos. So Beauty Love Creative, according to Leo, I've got to tell you that it's me that causes the chaos on Leo's streams. That's a little unfair. I think generally I might be 50% of the chaos. Well, I'm not sure that's even true either, because there's an awful lot of people who cause chaos over there. But it's a really good fun stream, and with some really beautiful artwork being created at the same time. So we're just the ads are shortly going to be over. Right, hopefully the ads are over. Hopefully people are coming back on Twitch. I'm just going to do something over on YouTube, which I should have done last Sunday, but I completely forgot to do. There you are. There's 5 gift memberships over on YouTube, going to PJ Busby, Holler, Christian Hansen, Trish, and Take Shop. So if you've got one of those, you get the advantage of a few extra bits and pieces, few pictures, the odd video. You get some emotes from that as well. So congratulations if YouTube's randomly chosen you. I won't go down the rabbit hole of moaning about something about gift memberships, but right. Just wait for those to roll through. Anyone want to go for a wander? Right. Let's go for a wander and see what's in the garden at the moment. Don't really want to go anywhere. It looks pretty hot out there, but let's go. Bear in mind, I can't see the chat while I'm doing this, but I'll do a few plants, talk about them, and then come back and answer any questions anyone's got. So let's go and do the first sort of batch of stuff. So make sure you got your, as usual, your seasickness pills to hand. So first thing here are the Crocosmia, and you can see these, how sort of shriveled up they are because of the heat. So there's a flower that's just come out. These are probably a day or possibly even a day old, and they're shriveling up. There are so many bees about. Nice little fuchsia there. Hopefully this is focusing. I think the trick is not to get too close. That's some verbena. I think it's the verbena borealis. Whew, it's warm. It is warm in when you get in the sun. It's really warm. This is the Scabiosa Beaujolais. Bumblebee on the top. I know one thing, just holding the camera is hot. So then we're coming up to these are as anyone who's been here before, these are my favourites, the fuchsias. Genie there. And we come along to find some Lady Booby. Lady Booby, and you can see on Lady Booby here, you see how the everything's just drying out because the water just can't get up the plant quick enough to the flowers. So that's perfectly something. You've got one good flower there on the left, and the one to the right is already sort of shrivelling up. So what would be flowering for a few days is just shrivelling up no time at all. We've got some more Crocosmia there. This is an orange variety. I can't remember what the orange variety is here. If anyone remembers, last week we had a load of Dianthus pinks. That was one sort of shriveled up there, but they've all gone to seed. So they need trimming off. And tidying up. And in reality, the only time you can really do that at the moment is first thing in the morning. Oh, try not to disconnect you. Some potentilla there. If this was a sort of cloudy day, I could just put the camera on this sort of area for ages and just watch the bees. But I know if I put the camera out here for more than about 5 minutes, it's just going to melt. Lavenders. You can see lots of stuff is just flopping over because of the heat. Another bee there. No, I'm not a flower. It thought it was funny chasing me around there, that bee did. And anyone who's interested in the bees and butterflies and how they get on with plants and work with plants, or the myths of the plants, there was a video out yesterday evening on the YouTube channel, which I quite enjoyed making, about sort of the myths behind bees and flowers. What I was talking about earlier, this is what we have in the garden are lots of these. These are hollyhocks. But most of the hollyhocks we've got in the garden are a single petal. I'm not sure I can see one at the moment. There's some in the front garden. They're single petaled, but this is a ruffled hollyhock, which, to be honest, I've never actually put in the garden myself. So this has obviously been blown in from somewhere or cross-pollinated. So it's got this sort of ruffled effect. In the centre, generally most of the hollyhocks I've got have got the outer petals and then an open middle. So, and then when this was sort of coming into bud, that is exactly what I thought I was going to be getting. But instead we ended up with these ruffled hollyhocks. So, a bit surprised by that. So, I'm just going to retreat back into the shade for a few minutes. Give the camera a rest. Yep. Just to read through the comments. Yeah, today feels a little bit better, but it's still pretty bad out there. I say I was hoping to stream Thursday or Friday night, but the real problem would have been that the tech just can't run for a long time in the heat. Just overheats so easily. Only me saying there, new fuchsia hasn't flowered yet. Yeah, that's last year. It was so dry early in the year that my fuchsia didn't flower until start flowering until about the end of July last year. But this year they were flowering very early, and the way it's going, they can be finished early. So Loan's putting loads of information in there. Thanks, Loan, for that. Back over to Twitch. Morning, Dem. Dem is for YouTube viewers. Another excellent creator. Makes beautiful wooden jewellery. And also makes emotes of dancing bears singing ice cream songs. So it's not just one moderator that's out to get me. A lot of the moderators are. So just going to look that up. And I'm just going to look that up. So for the YouTube viewers, again, if you don't want to use Twitch, Dem posts quite a lot of stuff over onto YouTube as well. So that's her YouTube channel. You can take a look. Morning, TBS. Yes, Leo's saying that Dem streams are fantastic. Dem has got a lot to blame for encouraging people to stream. So I don't know if I don't know if you've seen this yet, Dem. I don't know if you were here when this premiered on the channel. Yeah, I didn't know if you'd seen that. Yeah, there was supposed to be a redeem for that, but I forgot to add the video clip to the redeem. I must have added it somewhere else, so we'll have that working properly next week. But that's what it's going to look like. As anyone who's seen that, yeah. So you could take. I do take this seriously, but we'll have a bit of a sense of humour about this, and you have a laugh, not take it all to heart. You've lost your rights. Well, yours is different, Dem. Even though it's using my copyrighted voice, which I'm sure I'll be getting loads of commission for. I think you can keep yours. Or you could replace mine, Dem. You could replace mine with a gecko song. I'm not even going to go into that for the YouTube viewers. So, so we've gone down half the way down the bed. So we had sort of miniature flowered fuchsias, which are actually doing quite well, I have to say. But they're right down near the house, so they're fairly shaded. We've got the sort of, then in the beds you've got the dianthus, which really have struggled with the heat. Even the hardy geraniums, they've gone very leggy, which means they've got a lot of growth but not a lot of flowers on them. Then we get into the larger fuchsias. I would say probably about a quarter, if not, about a quarter of the flowers they had last week. And that's purely because they can't draw up enough water out of the ground because it's not there, or they just can't draw it up quick enough. The English lavender is doing quite well at the moment, but of course English lavender likes really hot, dry conditions. So that's doing quite well. And then we got as far as the new ruffled hollyhock flowers. I'm not sure the bees would appreciate them as much because normal hollyhock flowers, they love those because it's really easy to get into the pollen. But those are probably quite difficult. So we'll give it another couple of minutes and then we'll carry on with. So I'm just going to have a little slurp or something. So again, apologies, there's not a huge amount of actual practical gardening today, but it's just too hot really. Plus we're into the stage really, the garden, where it's maintenance, so it's chopping stuff back, it's weeding, like we were doing last weekend. It's just maintenance really. Right, I'm going to go and carry on the walk because the camera is now getting into the sun, so it needs moving anyway. So hello, Rocky's dead. So again, I'll come back and read the comments in a few moments. Let's go for a little bit further, see how far we can get on the cable. So everyone hold tight. All the camera's even hotter now. I think I said this last week, why people make cameras or any electronics out of black plastic, I do not know. So this is, I'm just saying, it's also very difficult. Why can people not make screens that you can actually see in the sunshine? This is GM or GM. This is a perfect example. This is here. This would have been covered in flowers last week, but you can see how it's all sort of shriveled up. This is English lavender. You just stand here, and all you can hear is the bee. All you can hear is the bees buzzing away. So if I come this side. Yeah, and that was something that you learn. I learn something every week. When I made that video for last night about bees and flowers and so on, I learned various things anyway. Certain pollinators like certain flowers. So you'd have thought a bee would go to any flower, but no, they've got their favourites for whatever reason. So we go back up. Try not to get the cable tangled. That's my shadow. Okay, so that's the cable out. Okay, sorry about that. So we've got some snapdragons. They're doing quite well. At the moment, slightly redder ones there, but more clarity coloured ones there. Some of the smaller verbena there. You've got these are weeds. Come out. That's a weed. That's a weed. That's a weed. The danger of pulling all the weeds out of your flower bed is you don't have much left. These are the pots that we did earlier in the year. There's a perfect example there. The leaves just not being able to get enough water up to the top. This is up to the bit that we cleared last week. Which I think, to be brutally honest, has been used more as a cat toilet than a garden. Nice little butterfly there. Hopefully you can see that. quite a lot of butterflies around today. Oh, that's new. I hadn't seen that before here. Yeah, there's some sort of pinky, peachy coloured roses. This is a rose I put in last year. They call it a tricolour rose because it's supposed to have 3 different colours on the rose. But in reality, what you tend to get is a pot with 3 different actual rose plants in the one pot. So it's not a true tricolour rose. It's a mix. Now onto the baskets. The baskets as well, they've been struggling with the heat. We have had some casualties in the baskets. But some stuff's doing quite well. The double petunias are doing quite well. So that's a double petunia. And the single petunias are there. The nicotiana, that's doing quite well. And the fuchsias in the baskets are starting to appear. I'm not sure which that is. That might be a Dollar Princess fuchsia. So the basket over there is very much the same. So there you go. And then anything that's in the shade is still doing reasonably well. There's some Lobelia there. And while we're down here, we might as well just carry on to the extent of the cable. I have had a bit of a tidy up down here. See how far the cable will go. It's the perfect example with the crocosmia. Starting to shrivel up because of the heat. About the extent of the cable. You've got some of these. I think these are Cape Daisies. This is the bed that we did with the robin. I'm trying to think what that was, about 3 weeks ago. You can see just from that how dry the soil is, even though it gets watered. But the yellow flowers at the back are Rebecca. So they're starting to come out, they like the heat. Sorry, trying not to disconnect you. Then we've got the baskets. So the wall baskets up there. Yeah, and then below the wall baskets are trying to get that on screen. These are the sunflowers we're growing. This is, on the left is YouTube sunflowers. On the right is Twitch's sunflowers. We've actually got some of the actual sunflowers starting to develop on that. I would say, if I come back here a bit, I would say that YouTube is probably winning by about 1 inch at the moment over Twitch. So, come across. Anyone new, this is the sort of utilitarian area. This is where we quite often on Sundays in the greenhouse. So these down on the floor are the it's so good when you can actually see what you're looking at on the screen when you get in the shade. These are the gherkins. Some of the troughs we did early in the year. That's a miniature sunflower. And there. This is the greenhouse in here. Can't quite reach the greenhouse in there, but the aubergines look like really struggling at the moment. In fact, actually the cucumber's grown about 1 foot since yesterday, and now I can see. What have we got here? That's a gazania. If you remember, we've got lots and lots of different colours of gazania. It's a nice pretty orange one. And then this is our little veg patch that we were growing pumpkins in, but we've only got one pumpkin with one leaf left on. So it's mainly French beans, runner beans. The corn has started to grow as well. Cabbages look like they've been attacked by cabbage butterfly, so that's not good. But the courgettes have taken off with the heat this week, so hopefully on some courgettes. So we'll just have to see how it goes. So this is sort of utilitarian area. If the weather's reasonable this week, this will have a final sort of tidy up, sweep up, weed. It's just a bit untidy really. Let's find somewhere in the shade for you to sit. Yep. Oh, I know where you can go for a chat. I'm just going to drop the tripod down a bit, and then you can hopefully get into the shade. So let's see. Yes, that's that. That's that. That's that. That's that. And sorry, talking. Let's do that one. That one. That one. Oh dear. Should have thought about this before. Okay. So we'll put you on there. We'll put you on there. And tip you up a little bit. Okay, so that's reasonably in the shade. Yep. Cool, comes. Well, I'll just go back through the OMZ London. Almost London. It's a little bit cooler, but it's still not off and out of there. I'll just go back through the comments while I've done that. Yeah, if you have any questions about some of these plants, we've got loads and loads of videos over on the YouTube channel, so you'll be able to find a video on virtually anything in the garden if you want to know more about it. I do try to put links to plants in the descriptions afterwards, so if you can always come back, you can look up descriptions. Is that a gecko? Oh, that's a good spot. Oh yes, it is, isn't it? Yes, hang on, let me zoom in on the gecko. Is our resident gecko expert still here, or have they had to go? Well, let me see if we can zoom in on the gecko without actually disconnecting you, hopefully. This is always an advantage. Yes, so yeah, there is a gecko on a fence post. There is a story to that fence post that this house here, prior to me moving here, actually belonged to a family member. So I've known this house for Well, I've been here 8 years, so I've known this house for 25 years or something like that at least. And that's a gecko that they had on the fence post here for years and years and years. He's an Italian gecko, all the way from Italy. And on the other side of the fence post, I don't know if I can actually show you this. He's got a friend. Let's see if we can zoom up. I don't know if I can zoom out. So there are actually two geckos on there. I'll just get back in for a little bit. Oh, no, there's that one. Yes, there are two geckos on there, and they were. The strange thing is, one of the geckos was already living here when I moved here, and the other gecko came with me and joined its friend. They both come from the same place in Italy, and I was given a gecko as a present from the old garden, and they came up here, and you really want me to try to say that? Actually, he says they are called duo echios in the trade, or something like that. I've never named my gecko. My gecko is actually the one at the bottom, and then the one going climbing up the side. That was the one who was here before. So, morning, Jerome. You can just see the side view of the gecko at the top. The strange thing is that as you know, we've got. Well, welcome to the channel change. As regular viewers know, we do have cats. We've got 3 cats who make very rare appearances on screen. But the previous people who lived here, which are sort of members of the family, they had a cat as well. And if you see this fence post here, it's got scratch marks up and down it behind the geckos. And when I had all the building work done when I first moved here, this was part of a carport on the side of the house, and it was all scratched up because that's where the cat used to like to scratch. So I saved the bottom sort of 3 foot of the fence post as a sort of memorial to the cat. Unfortunately, he's not around anymore. So that's why there's a bit of a fence post in the flower bed. But then I thought the geckos would like to live on there. So. Only me showing off for Italian. What are they made of? They're actually metal. What sort of metal? I'm not sure, but they are metal. They're slightly rusty in places, so I'm guessing it's some sort of steel. But I don't remember them being ever colourful from when they were new. Thanks, Dem. We've got some ads coming up on Twitch in a few moments. Ollie, oh, morning, Ollie. Haven't seen you come in. Ollie's saying that they once tried to shimmy up a palm tree in the Bahamas to have a closer look at a lizard. He thought their mum would scold them, but she seemed supportive of his curiosity and ascent to the tree. Yeah, well, it shows you have to. It's a good thing to be inquisitive, I think, when you Twitch have fallen into some ads. Anyone who hasn't got the ads, thanks for your turbo or your sub to the channel. Yeah, change. It is some sort of casting. Hang on, I'm just going to cough. Yeah, some sort of metal casting. Even though they come from Italy, I would suspect they probably originated in somewhere in the Far East. But no, I'm not going to sing the ice cream song while we're in the ads. Right. It's okay just inside here with the door open today. Yeah, Lone's just asked me to hydrate, which I've just actually done as you spoke, as you put that in, Lone. That's why I was coughing. Probably like everyone else, can't imagine how much I've been drinking over the last few days. But excessive. Right, so we're at the ads? Yes, we are. We're at the ads. Anyone who's here, we did some gift subs on the YouTube side. So we'll match that up on the Twitch side as well. So if you've got a gift sub over on Twitch, you've now got your ad-free viewing on the channel, plus your emotes. So it's only fair. I like to treat the YouTube and the Twitch channels as equal partners in this. So if we do gift on one, we usually gift on the other. So there's a few names I recognise in there. We've managed to get one. Oh, you've been getting a Lotto advert. Well, there you go. Well, shame you're going to miss out on that. You can now spend all your, instead of spending your money on the Lotto back of these, you could spend it on this channel from next week, hopefully, to buy singing bears. I'm not sure whether that's actually allowed in the terms and conditions on Twitch to have singing bears, but never mind. So the geckos are stuck to the oil. Ackley's has found all his new emotes. Yeah. But I'm just thinking. Um, plans for this week are that we will be streaming next Sunday, the usual time. I hope to do an evening stream at least once this week, but obviously it depends on what the weather's doing. The evening streams are more popular with the North American friends, because obviously this is still quite early for anyone in North America. I don't think. So I'm just distracted by watching a bee. I don't know when that will be. I will try to let you know. Situation. It is going to be hot air this week, so a few degrees here or there can make a difference to actually be able to run the stream properly without stuff sort of passing out. YouTube, we've got the usual, all the shorts every day. We've got the usual Tuesday video. Tuesday's video on YouTube is something totally different. It's a little bit comical, but I hope you enjoy that. Thursday we got the calming video, and then Saturday there'll be a premiere, of which I'd love to tell you about what it's going to be, but I don't know yet. Ollie's saying they love the video, the video that was out yesterday about bees. They're going to be watching this again, so interesting, yeah. Thanks for the bits, for the giant cookie eating bear. Thanks, Dem. Yeah, I enjoyed making that video last night about the bees. It's every time you make something, you learn something new. In fact, actually, I'll do that now. I'll open that up to. I'll open that up to chat. Is there anything you could suggest for this Saturday's video? Obviously, I can't promise to make anything that you suggest, but if anyone's got a good idea for a Saturday premiere video I can make for this week, rather than me come up with an idea. If chat's got something, a particular flower or plant or something that they'd like a video on, put it in the please put it in the chat. Give me an idea. Is the plant video, the pollinator bee video up on YouTube now? Yeah, it went up last night. That's the YouTube video. So if you go over there, you'll find last night's video. It's quite interesting, actually. It's a lot about the last night's video is a lot, not just about why certain bees and butterflies go for certain plants, but there's a lot of sort of the myth and the folklore about bees. I won't tell you all the ins and outs because I wouldn't want to spoil it for you. But it was quite interesting. There was lots of stuff I never knew about. So yeah, it's not particularly long. I think it's 12 minutes or something. So it's not going to take an whole evening to watch. So I'm glad you enjoyed watching it, Ollie, because you never quite. People do put comments in, and that's very much appreciated because it does give feedback. Hello, Cadvision. Yeah, only me suggesting some drought-tolerant plants and tips to survive the heat. Yeah, we did something like that last year. That's a very good something I was thinking of doing along those lines this week. And certainly the weather's going to be hot this week, so I can't see this changing very much. So I may well run with that idea, Annie. You'll find out on Saturday. But again, anyone, YouTube, Twitch, if you have any changes said about invasive species, yeah, that's another one to do. Something like the thing about YouTube is you always have to be slightly topical to sort of keep up to date with the algorithm. So invasive species is probably something more so off-peak season. But yeah, any ideas I'm willing to be open. So you always put comments in the chat, or I do go back and read the chats afterwards, or you can leave us a message on Instagram or Discord or blah blah blah. I don't need to explain where you can find us. We're all over the place. You'll find the links everywhere anyway. But say Tuesday's video is something completely and utterly different. It was as a result of actually last Sunday. I'll drop you a hint about Tuesday's video. It's about gnomes, garden gnomes. So there you go. But it is in relation to gardening, so it's not just about garden gnomes. So again, that was another interesting video to make. You learn something every time. So yeah, so at the moment you're looking at the geckos on the fence post. The pink flower you got in the front right. I'll refocus the camera on the pink flower rather than the geckos. Yeah, that sort of pinky purple flower. That's a stilby, which is ASTIL BE. It might be double L, but it's a stilby. ASTIL BE, I think it is. And it grows from a bulb where it's not actually a bulb. I think it's a corm. It grows and then it dies back over the winter and comes back. This particular stilby here is Debbie CSM's plant. So as for general stuff coming up in terms of what we've got to do in the garden, the strawberries are basically finished. The variety we've got here are finished, so they can sort of go into a slightly shady place, and then we can do part of a stream where we're potting up the runners to create more strawberry plants. We would have probably been doing that today if it hadn't been so hot and sunny. There'll be some general maintenance. We're starting to get into this season where we're thinking about sowing stuff and thinking about the autumn and winter baskets, believe it or not. And we're only in July, but we need to start thinking about that. Because the autumn and winter baskets really need to be planted up probably September, mid-September. When you think about that, considering we're just going to sort of school holidays here, that's not that far away. So I have to think about that. Otherwise, it's general maintenance, really. As for cats, I only know where one of them is. The girl cat's inside. The two boy cats are outside somewhere, probably curled up asleep somewhere. That's what's happening in this hot weather. They don't like the hot weather. Certainly the boy cats don't like the hot weather. Hello, Eons. We've had quite a few people come in the last few minutes. Oh yeah, Elaine's put up a stilby there, commonly known as the false goat's beard. Yeah, it's a perennial. So a perennial, if you don't know your gardening, a perennial is a plant that comes back year after year after year, rather than an annual, is something that flowers just for 1 year and then it's over. You can get biennials which grow 1 year and then flower in the second year. So these are all fancy gardening terms, but as we know, we don't really do fancy gardening on this channel. It's much more practical stuff. But the description is that they're perennials, prized for their feathery plume-like flower spikes and elegant foliage. Yeah, and they do like their water. If I hadn't been watering those the last week, they wouldn't be flowering now. They would have gone literally in a day or so. Because we had quite a few people come in the last few minutes. I will do another quick wander around the garden so people don't miss out. So I'll see if I can pick out some of the bits and pieces I haven't shown before. I'll do that now, and then Beauty Live Creatives put in a Dutch word of the day, and also Dem's put in another Dutch word, so we've got 2 Dutch words to try today. So let's just take you for a quick wander and see if I can find anything else I haven't shown you. So hang on tight. So that's the Crocosmia. The honeybee. Come over here. This is the hardy geraniums. The purple one's the Roseanne. We've got a few of the cosmos coming out. There's a lot more cosmos further up the garden, which will be flowering fairly soon. See what we've got in amongst here to show you. I shall come over from the flower bed. So we've got some little pink flowers there, and obviously you can read the label. That's Erodium, Bishop's Form, little alpine plant. Actually, we're talking about drought plants. Most of the stuff in this central bed is either alpine or drought tolerant. There is a limit to being drought tolerant, but it's quite a pretty little plant. Because you can imagine if you're halfway up a mountainside, you haven't got a lot of water. That's another gazanier. Anyone who saw the previous gazanier flower, totally different colour. And then those are actually finished gazanier flowers. So you can take it 2 ways. You can either leave those on, and you'll get these are the little seed heads in there that look like, I don't know if you can see that, they look like sort of tentacles, like octopus tentacles. You leave those on and they'll go to seed and spread that way. Or if you take those off, which I probably will, you probably encourage some new flowers to come up and get some more flowers this year. That's Delasperma. Sunset, I think that variety it says it is. So that's a lovely, if I put my finger there, you can see how small they are. Another alpine plant. This is, I'm not exactly sure what that is. So I've got a label. Was that label disappeared? Yeah, don't know what that is, that one. Some sort of succulent. If anyone knows what that one is, put it in the comments. But actually, the succulents do quite well. Might be some sort of variety of sedum, but I wouldn't guarantee that. If you, the succulents keep a lot of water in the leaves and so on, rather than draw it up during the day, which they still do, but they've got the capability of keeping it in the leaves, like if you can imagine a camel has in its hump. Let's see if we can find that. Hopefully that come on, focus. Focus. That's Linearia. Not sure if that's in focus. It's in Linearia. A lot of this has gone to seed as well. So something like that, same process, where it's gone to seed. You can trim that back. You might get another flush of flowers. But if you want it to spread, you can leave the seed heads on. That's a thyme. Thyme obviously is the herb, and you have these lovely little flowers on them. So you get the scent of the herb, and also you get the flowers. They do quite well in the hot weather. What else we got? This is album, the stone crop. If anyone remembers last week, this was bright pink last week. You see, that's all gone to seed as well. It's just the heat. And this is a succulent type thing with these sort of water-filled leaves. But yeah, so it was all pink this last week, but now it's all gone to seed. So that can literally be cut hard back and these seed heads taken off if you don't want it to spread. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of this sort of maintenance. We ignore the weed that's there. That doesn't exist. What else have we got that we can show you? I'll come up here. It's the hanging baskets. Some of the, I think those are some sort of bellis flower with the duo petunias, double petunias, single petunias, Lobelia. So getting trapped by what I will try to do, if I can, assuming we don't get snagged. I'm just going to put my hand over the camera for a sec. See there's a gecko. So it's be with you in a moment. Right. Sorry about the hand for a sec. It's really, the hand's just there for privacy. So this is the, if you remember, this is the green trough we did on stream. Oh God, there's a flipping, go away. So this is got some petunias in it, lavender. That's Biddens, yellow flower there. Some more Casineas, some verbena there. You can see even this is struggling. They just can't get the liquid up quick enough. Some geraniums, which aren't geraniums, they're, everyone in chat will know what they are. And it's interesting how something like that changes during the day, really. When the sun's on it, it's sort of slightly wilted look to it. But as soon as the sun comes off it, and it gets water back into the plants, it just fills out again. That's very similar for. So I'm going to take you back around. It's that's very similar for the baskets and troughs out the front. So anyone who's like coming in, this is Wiggy the acorn, who suffered some collateral damage in the hot weather in the greenhouse. He's a little bit crispy on the top, shall we say. Yeah. But he's still got leaves at the bottom, so I'm fairly hopeful he'll survive. What plants we got down near the house? That's a thyme. That's actually one of our mods loans plant there. This is if you can see that, that's Armeria. You can see here, even though this is getting water, so some of the leaves are turning brown on that already. This is a campanula. Again, all the flowers on that have shriveled up. It's just a consequence. It's just a consequence of the heat, really. So let's move you around into the shade somewhere there. Oop, sorry, wrong button. Oh dear. That looks like the camera's gone into 8-bit mode. Yeah, it's the heat that does it. I'm just going to try to restart the camera. If you hang on a second. Now I'm going to have to actually restart the camera fully. I'll just put you into the BRB for a second. I'll be back with you in a moment. Hopefully we're back here. Yeah, that's what happens with these cameras. Changes asked me to hydrate, and Achilles has told me to do so as well. So I'm just going to find some hydration liquid. So here we are, ASMR tap noise. Don't know where the girl cat's gone. She was just asleep on the floor in the kitchen. She's moved. So, got some liquid. Dem's redeemed the bear in the washing machine. I won't go into trying to explain why there's a bear in a washing machine as an emote. It's a very long story. Ollie said gnomes are cool. Well, I've got plenty of gnomes around the garden. Most of them you don't actually see until you get to the summer. And let's do the Dutch words that have been suggested. So we've got 2 Dutch words to have a go at. We'll start, as we were talking about gnomes, we'll talk about the Dutch word for a gnome, for a garden gnome in Dutch is tinkerbooter? Or is that tunkerbooter? I'll go for tinkerbooter, like Tinkerbell. So if our Dutch speakers can try to tell me whether that sounds about right, going for tinkerbooter. Anyone who doesn't understand what we're doing, we've got some Dutch speakers in the chat, and basically from day one I've been challenged to do a Dutch word each week. Oh, Dem says it's a bit close. I take it a bit close means it's a long way. It's a long way being correct then, because it's only a little bit close. So everyone can try that Dutch word if you want to say garden gnome this week. The other word, which I think is probably valid for everyone, is shade. In the Dutch word for shade, which looks very similar to the word in English shadow. So I'm just going to say the word shadow. Thanks. Hello, Andy. Good to see you. Popping across. Yes, you got gifted randomly one of the gift subs today on the channel. YouTube got some, and Twitch got some, and you got one of them. So that gives you access to the usual things that you get. Plus, you got some extra emotes to show off, and you had free viewing on the channel. So and your little badge as well. So welcome to being a sub. Oh well, okay, right, okay. I'll ask you tomorrow what if I remember what the pronunciation is. Dem, yeah. Judging by that, it's nowhere near what I said. Well, how about for shade? Is that just shadow? Something like that in Dutch? The end needs to be softer. Shadow. Shadow. Shadower? No, it doesn't sound right to me. Somehow I don't think I'm really designed to speak Dutch. And them saying instead of O, it should be U. So anyway, suggesting Shardu. Shardu? Oh, there you go. Your Dem's past that. So anyone who's feeling a bit hot today, you need to go and sit in the Shardu. Oh, that doesn't sound right either, does it? So, let's do a few other things before we think what we're going to actually do. Anyone just coming in? Anyone who's been here some time? Um, I hope everyone can have a cool afternoon and help themselves to a little ice cream. Yes, if you just come into the channel, yes, that is a bear in an ice cream van. So yeah, going forward, so we're back next Sunday. I'm not going to drag this out for much more really today because we're not doing anything practical. We'll do the longer streams when we're doing something practical. I'm sure everyone's quite happy to go off and sit in somewhere cool and in the shadow. I can't even say it again now, can I? Change has said, "Do you have many bears there?" Not real bears, no. I don't think we have any bears at all in the UK anymore. Wild. Um, the bear, for anyone who doesn't know, the reason it's called the Bear in the Garden channel is I'm originally from a place in the UK called Warwickshire, which is in the middle of England. And the emblem for Warwickshire is a bear, so that's where the name comes from. It's actually a bear. It's called a bear, and a ragged staff is the emblem of Warwickshire. And the ragged staff is basically was a pole in the ground that the bear was chained to. So if you see pictures of a Warwickshire flag, you'll see there's a bear chained to a pole. I think on a lot of the newer flags, they don't actually have the bear chained to a pole for obvious reasons. But that's where the name comes from. So there were bears in the UK years and years ago. To my knowledge, there aren't any wild bears anymore. When do I add a pole to the garden? If I added a pole to the garden, there's the opportunity then for pole dancing, and I'm not sure the channel's really about pole dancing. It's just a different sort of channel. Change saying they get the occasional black bear wander into the town. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to come face to face with a bear. They're not particularly friendly. Welcome over on YouTube to one Alex, the black cat. Oh, sorry, just gone into ads on Twitch. Sorry about that. Didn't see that come in. We'll just wait for that. I could just sit here with the door open and fall asleep. Dem saying if I had a pole in the garden and I was doing pole dancing, that it would get the views up. You really think that's true, Dem? Let's be honest, everyone's seen what I look like on screen. I don't think we'll be doing pole dancing. In fact, I think some people are giving this pole dancing bear idea far too much thought. Leo said they could teach me how to do pole dancing. That opens up a whole range of further questions, Leo, and I'm not sure I want to go down that rabbit hole. So we're out of the ads on Twitch. For anyone new to the channel, I will come and show myself. Now let's just see where the camera's actually pointing, because quite often you end up chopping my head off on these. Oop. So, hello. Now, do you really think this is a body built for pole dancing? If I was doing pole dancing, it'd have to be a flipping reinforced pole. A caber, yeah. Well, that's a good Scottish word, a caber. Well, yeah. I am of Scottish heritage, so that would probably be approved. Some very odd, it's very odd conversations going over on the Twitch chat at the moment about pole dancing. So I won't read those for a moment, because obviously I'm so innocent and pure in mind. No, it's not pure in mind, it's pure in thought, isn't it? Thanks for the kind words, Alex. When you're saying to low, this is far more relaxing, yeah. So we do have a range of stuff on here. We have the sort of more practical type of gardening, and we have streams where we just don't say much at all. We just have a bit of relaxing music, or just something like this where you just got a bit of background noise. Achilles is going. Thanks for being here. If anyone on Twitch who doesn't know who Achilles is, he's going to be the next great streamer on Twitch. Or he's promised, I think, or he's been told he's promised that if he gets to 50 followers on Twitch, he's going to start streaming. So if you're not following him, just drop drop a follow. Once he's started streaming, then you can unfollow, and he'll have to start back at 0 and work his way back up like everyone else has had to do. I think he's in his mid-30s out of 50 now, so he's getting pretty close to having to do a stream. So show him some love, show him some encouraging. He's on 38 out of 50. We only need another 12. That should be achievable. And they're really looking forward to doing some streaming. Yeah, I haven't forgotten that anyway. Thanks for just saying hello, Victoria. Good to see you. You can always watch the live stream back. It'll be up straight away, and then it gets processed overnight. And so, if you want to read the live chat back, that should be available in the morning at some point on morning UK time, probably about 12 hours from now. The live chat appears, but you can actually play it back without the live chat in the first 12 hours. It just takes 12 hours to go through the live chat and update that. Only Me has reminded us we need to try to. What they've said is they need to guess what. I have to guess what people are having for their dinner, because you already know what I'm having. How do you know what I'm having today, Only Me? But you are correct in your guess before you even guess. But I won't be having it just yet. I'll be having it later in the afternoon when it cools down a bit. I'm assuming it's most people are probably sweltering. People will be having sort of picnicky type stuff today, so they'll be having sandwiches, quiches, cold meats, salad, that sort of stuff for their lunch today. Dem's having pancakes, tacos. No, I don't have tacos. What are you having for lunch? Is that what you're saying? You're having tacos for lunch? You might be. Beans on toast. No, sorry. I'm trying to guess what you're having for lunch today, Archilles, not the other way round. See, Archilles apparently is having beans on toast and salad. Definitely no falafels on this channel. I don't think you need psychic skills, Only Me, to guess what would be having for my main meal. Oh, you were guessing me, pancakes. No, Dem, come on, you know me better than that. Go for your first guess. And you, Only Me, you'd be correct. While people are trying to guess what I am having for my lunch, which everyone probably already knows, you see, Dem knows already. There you go. Apart from I'll be having chips rather than ships, but I won't be eating anyway. I probably won't be eating till 4 or 5 o'clock when it cools down. So, what's that? Another 3 or 4 hours. So it'll just be. I might have a yogurt or something in the short term. That'll be quite nice. A yogurt and some more liquid to drink. I think in reality I haven't got much else to say. So we've got all the usual content, all the usual places. Change is thinking about Swedish pancakes with potato sausage. Only Me's trying new flat sausage with baked potato and vegetables. Oh, well, flat sausage is traditional to Scotland. I like a flat sausage. Only Me, yes, correct. Yes, you're correct. Only Me. Yes, I think you've been around long enough to know what the game is here. I may actually change that. I'm trying to think what else is in it. Depends. It also depends what other people are doing this evening. But I tend to stream on Sundays because everyone tends to go off and do other stuff, and they leave me in peace. or more to the point, they don't want to hear me wittering on about social media. So I think I'm going to start to wrap it up now. I hope to be back one evening this week live. We can do an evening relaxation sort of stream. Hopefully be doing some gardening next Sunday. If the temperature's low 20s, that's fine. We'll be able to do something. Anything above that becomes difficult. You can see the camera has gone again on us today because of the heat. Leo's off to go and get a train to catch. Have a good week, Leo. Make sure there are no geckos where you're going. And thanks for moderating. Anime's just said, right, so Anime's having the pork version of the Scottish lawn beef sausage, yeah. Yeah, I was brought up on flat sausages from Scotland, even though I didn't actually live in Scotland. But I'm going to find somewhere to raid us out to on Twitch. Thanks everyone for being here. I'll say some individual thanks to people. Thanks to people who've been here. I can see Change, Cadvision, Arcades. Who else has been here in the chat? Andy was here. Rock is Dead was here. Yeah, thanks to all the lurkers on Twitch as well. So we'll be back same time next week, hopefully a bit cooler, and we can do some actual practical gardening. Over on the YouTube side, thanks Only Me, Victoria for coming in. Alex Black Cat as well. Beauty Love Creative. Leverson D'Souza. I didn't see you. Welcome to the channel. I didn't see you coming there, but welcome. Hope everyone you enjoyed the stream. Thanks Ollie and Jerome, Aeons as well. Anyways, thanking me for my time and company. That's fine. Yeah, as I say, this channel is okay. It's my channel, but it's my garden. But it's also your time and your channel and your garden. And I do try to produce the best I can in terms of quality of production. It doesn't always work, but we do our best. And I hope you enjoy what we do, and you find it a nice, comfortable place to sit for a couple of hours on a Sunday. And if nothing else, just have a lovely chat to other people in chat. We do have some good communities on both sides. I say, as soon as I know what I'm planning to do, I'll try to give you as much notice in terms of the live stream. But we will be here, whatever happens on Sunday. I'll just find something to raid out to. For Twitch viewers, please stay with us. I'm going to raid us out to someone who is coming towards the end of their day, who, out of coincidence, I'm actually modding for on YouTube. I'm obviously not there at the moment, but that's my job on the channel. I'm in both chats, but I'm over on the YouTube side and also dealing with the moderation on that side. So say hello, and I'll come and join you in the chat over there momentarily. I say thanks to everyone who's been here. Thanks to the mods. Thanks to Leo, to Dam, to Lone. Thanks for all the stuff you put into the chat, Lone. Thanks to anyone who's contributed in bits. Anyone who's got a gift sub or membership today, enjoyed those. And I'll see everyone again certainly next weekend. If not, you'll see us during the week at some point. Have a good rest of the weekend. Don't melt. And take care of yourselves, everyone. Have a good afternoon.